So you're thinking about moving to Parkville, Missouri. Well, in this video, we are gonna go all over Parkville, Missouri, go up some streets, down some streets, look at some houses in different neighborhoods at different price points, and kind of see what you might be able to afford on your budget. And if you stick around to the end, I am gonna take you and show you Parkville's deepest, darkest secret, and you don't wanna miss that. We're also gonna make some history together right here in Parkville. So hey, if this is your first time tuning into the channel, you want to know everything there is about living in Kansas City, then click subscribe and hit that little bell for notifications so you can be the first to know what the current market here in the Kansas City area and places like Parkville. My name is Zach Morton. My business partner Max Jones, the team and I have been helping people move in Kansas City for over 20 years. We absolutely love it, but don't take my word for it. See what our clients have to say with over 600 5-star Google reviews from people just like you. So whether you're moving today and you just landed, or 3 months, 3 years from now, just pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, email, even schedule a Zoom so we can connect and find the best way to help you have a smooth transition into the Kansas City market. So like I said, we are currently standing in Parkville right now. I am in downtown Parkville. I'm just at the top of Main Street. As you can see behind me is Main Street all the way to the river. And we're gonna stroll down there and learn a little bit about Parkville. So let's get going. All right, so Parkville, voted #1 places to live in Platte County. It has a pretty small population compared to some of the other suburbs that we've discussed recently. Coming in right at 8,300 people that live in Parkville proper. We're in the downtown area right now. Actually, behind me, you can see the Park University, which was a private college. It was one of the first things they kind of built here once they got going. But anyway, back to the population. So most people that live here, they aren't really here just for Parkville, but a lot of people looking for this area are looking for the Park Hill School District, which Parkville is right inside of. So really, most people are happy if they're just in the Park Hill School District, or at least people with families, that's what they're actually shooting for, and not necessarily Parkville proper. And when we zoom out to take a look at the school district, we're talking, instead of 15 square miles like we have right here in Parkville, we're more like 75 square miles for the Park Hill School District, with a population, instead of 8,300 people, we're more like 74,000 people. So when you look at it that way, it's actually even though this is a small town, super small town vibe, we're standing right here on Main Street right now, which is super cool. It's one of my favorite places to hang out in the Northland. But we're really in that greater Park Hill School District area that serves Parkville. All right, so Parkville's kind of known for its history. Of course, there is a park there, but that's not why it's named Parkville. It was actually named Parkville because there was a guy by the name of George Park who had a post office that was just across the street back in the 1840s. And shortly after that, they decided to name the town, incorporated or whatever, and it became Parkville after George Park. And interesting fact, that was still a post office until 1960s. And then just things got so busy around here, they actually moved it just on the other side of there, on the other side of the street, East Street over there, and now that's where the post office sits, in a more modern building with a little more space. So some of my favorite things to do when I'm down here in downtown Parkville is we've got some cool vintage shops, some cool clothing shops. We've got Parkville Coffee. If you're down in this area, you definitely want to stop in there, show your face. Stone Canyon Pizza on the corner. And then my top 3 favorite Reubens of my life right here at the end of the street is The Crack. It is an Irish place where you can get a pint of beer, a Reuben sandwich, and some tasty fries, and it's magnificent. Also behind me, Cafe des Amis is a French restaurant. You can't go wrong there either. Kind of a 5-star dining experience. So just a lot of cool stuff going on down here. Another thing I wanted to touch on, we talked about Park Hill School. So the reason everybody's looking for that, or it's sought after, is Park Hill is that A+ school district in the Northland. So that's why everybody's trying to get into that. And that's why you don't necessarily have to be in Parkville to get that. You can be in the Park Hill School District. And there's lots of towns, you'll hear us talk about it in our videos, when you live on the Missouri side of Kansas City, you have this thing called the E-tax. And living in a town like Parkville, you're going to be able to avoid that E-tax. But now if you still work in Kansas City, then it's still something you're going to have to contend with. But living in Parkville and then working in another city that's not necessarily Kansas City, Missouri, you completely avoid that 1% earnings tax. So something to consider, and probably a reason why Parkville has a draw. It's not a, like I said, it's only 15 square miles is the footprint. So as we go around and start looking at some houses, you're going to see the median house price it's up there quite a ways. It's because a lot of these subdivisions, that's all they have is nice houses, and there's not a lot of extra room to get some tiny houses in. They've just all been pushed out because it's a desirable place to live. But you can still get in the Parkville School District and still find stuff in the 250s, I would say. You can still find some turnkey stuff that can still get you in the area. It's just might not be Parkville proper. So all things to consider. So what can I say? School districts, there are 3 high schools, there are 4 middle schools, and there are 11 elementary schools. They're all A+ rating. They all do a really good job, and they're all very sought after, so you can't go wrong anywhere in Parkville. And then while we're on education, we've also got the college, Park College or Park University right across the street. And that is a great spot. Park College, straight from their website, says we offer career building degrees, programs to help you chart a clear path to a better future. Explore your options with us today. Here are some of our featured undergraduate programs to help you get started. Business administration, criminal justice, geography, information and computer sciences, psychology, and sports exercise science. So that's kind of what Park College is specialized in. All right, so cost of living. I think that's why you'll see, in Parkville proper, we talked about, the housing prices are a little bit higher there, and that's kind of why. Parkville's pretty small and tiny and pretty sought after, and they built a lot of nice subdivisions that were well planned out. Crossing the tracks right now, let's look both ways as I step on them. When you look at like niche.com and some of the other rating websites as far as the cost of living, it puts Parkville at 120% of the national average, so a little bit higher than the national average. But when you divide that up, it's really the housing that throws it off at 160%. Then again, just take that with a grain of salt, because that's taken a really small 15 square mile area, and really when you're looking at that number, I think you should be looking at the Parkville School District in a whole. But I don't want to discount Parkville at all, because I love it. It's super cool and kind of prestigious to have that Parkville in your address. The Platte County property tax to live here, of course, when you get those A+ schools, we talk about it all the time. You expect to pay a little bit more for property, and you expect your taxes to be a little higher. So on the property taxes, that's 1.15% the assessed value is what you can expect to pay for property taxes annually. And then the sales tax is coming in right at 7.61%. So actually a pretty decent sales tax compared to some other areas. Right behind me, I guess while I'm standing here, we're walking down to the English Landing Park, which is the riverfront park. And then right behind me is a shopping area. We just crossed the tracks from old downtown. It was actually the guitar shop. One of my first jobs was right down there at Bentley Guitar Studios. So just a great spot. Let's go down here. Farmers Market right across the street. Skipping around here a little bit, but the average price point, or the median price point for Parkville is coming in right at $480. And the average price point or median price point for the Park Hill, the school district, is coming in right at $370. So that kind of goes what I was talking to just a little bit ago over downtown about those numbers and kind of what you can expect. And I think that's right on. We are at the farmers market right now. I'm kind of walking across the parking lot as we head down towards the river. I just want to show you the riverfront park. And there was a flood in '93 that I think is worth mentioning. There's a lot of, when you're down here walking around, and if you go in some of the shops, there'll probably be some old images up on the wall from '93. I guess they're not that old, but that's when I would be standing underwater. I'd probably be about 8 feet underwater right now. And a lot of these buildings downtown Parkville were submerged halfway or more. And it was all the way up to the gutter line on the farmer's market shelter right behind me. Looks like they are getting ready to redo that, and then downtown just across the street. And then all year round, Parkville knows how to party down and get use out of their downtown. They've got a Valentine's Day celebration parade, a Shamrock stroll. I'm gonna kind of read from my notes here. There's the Parkville Micro Brew Fest, which is amazing, the amount of breweries that come down here, and you buy a ticket and then you just get to sample everything. Farmers market, we talked about that. Mimosas on Main for Mother's Day, so I'm sure that could be a wild one. There's the Ale for Dads for Father's Day. Parkville, they have a 4th of July celebration. Hot summer nights all summer long with some live music. We've got Paint Parkville in October. Parkville Days Festival, Friday, August 18th and Sunday, so that's all weekend long. Small Business Saturdays, Christmas on the River, so down here, there'll be a huge stage. This is in the middle of December. It's cold, everybody's bundled up. Santa Claus is down here, Christmas lights. There's also carnivals down here where you'll have Ferris wheels going and all that. All the corn dogs and cotton candy you can eat. And then music on Main too, in the summer months when they've, and art galleries and all that, when they'll just have everything going. Just a great spot. It pulls everybody from the county down here. It's a lot of fun. So, all right, how about what's some other fun stuff you can do? I mean, you can only eat and drink and listen to so much live music and hit so many coffee shops. So other than downtown, what do we like to do in the Parkville area? Well, there is the park right here, English Landing Park. This has, I know, at least 5K or 5 miles or so, probably more, of trails, crushed gravel, paved. 2 dog parks down at the other end. There is a boat ramp, so if you like to get out in the river and go fishing, you've got access to that. We've got pickleball right there. So that's not tennis, that's actually pickleball courts. There is a disc golf course right in the middle of, as you're walking down by the riverfront. You've got disc golf. I can see people playing sand volleyball right now, so obviously sand volleyball. There is a Parma Woods, a shooting range, which is just a few miles down the street. You can shoot pistols. It's an outdoor shooting range for pistols and rifles. And then they have an archery section as well down below that. So that's a spot around deer season. Gets a lot of activity when everybody's out there sighting in their rifles. What else do we do around here? Golf. You can live on golf. There are a couple lakes in the Parkville, but then also within the Park Hill School District, there's several lakes you could live on. So a lot of people will be out boating, fishing, swimming. You got all that you can do all summer long. A couple other things, they aren't really in Parkville, but Kansas City as a whole, and these things are only about 15, 20 minutes away at the most, but we have Oceans of Fun and Worlds of Fun, which are pretty sizable theme parks for a city our size. So that's something that everybody has access to in Kansas City. And those are, you know, if you're coming in town to look at some real estate, you're bringing the fam, that might be something to get on the list if you got little kids, because it is pretty big roller coasters and water park, and they're actually both connected, so you can do them all at the same time. Crime rate. So the crime rate, as you can see on this graph right here, both violent and petty crime has fallen way below the US national average. So super safe place, and I feel comfortable walking around pretty much anywhere in Parkville, even in the middle of the night. All right, how about the jobs? So jobs in Parkville. So it's pretty small, like we've been saying the whole time. Not a big footprint, but there are a few. Just like most places and most cities that we talk about, it is the hospitals, it's the schools, and things like that that are the major employers. And that again is the case in Parkville. So we've got St. Luke's hospital system that employs, I think, 500 or 600 people. We've got Park College, which again, just across the street, you can see the steeple way up there. Really cool college. We'll probably take a stroll through that campus while I'm down here and just show that to you. Employs 500 or 600 people. But then something that's close to here, it's not necessarily in Parkville or even Park Hill school districts, but it's in the Northland. Parkville is on the Missouri side, right, of Kansas City, and we are considered the Northland, which just means that we are north of this river right here, which is the Missouri River. But we are getting Facebook, or Meta has bought a bunch of ground. I think they bought over, or they're gonna build a facility that's over 1 million square feet. Just massive. And it turns out that Kansas City has a big talented pool of tech people because we're centrally located. I guess Kansas City's deployed over 5.5 million feet or miles or something, not miles, it's got to be feet of fiber. So I think we're the city that has more fiber. We're right in the middle, going in every direction, so I guess that kind of makes sense. And Meta has committed to picking up some land here, and I think by 2024 they should be up and running. Should bring a lot of jobs to the Northland, and just expect to see a lot more growth. So everybody's kind of excited about that one. Got the river right behind me, and it's cold and it's about to rain. So we're gonna shift gears and go the other way. All right, here we are at Bentley Guitar Studios. Bentley Guitar Studios, that's the one of my first jobs in the guitar shop. Super cool in there, must see. But I wanted to point this out down here. I told you we're gonna make some history together. This is the alley. There is an alley bar down here with the VFW. There's a little door down this alley, so a little tip and trick. Down here on an evening, you want to grab a super cheap beer. I'm talking like $1 and like $1 hot dog, and I think the popcorn's free. We got this spot, but a good friend of mine painted this flag down here, so just out to Melissa. We got some Eagles. We got some I Love Parkville, so people are coming down here in the evening and posing all the time. There is your entrance to the alley bar right there. Hi. And now we're gonna do something. All right, so here, now we're in this alley is where we're gonna make some history together. Now you can go to some cities and some towns and they have a gum wall. Well, Parkville does not have a gum wall. I think this would be an awesome spot for a gum wall. I think it's disgusting, but it's also interesting, and we're gonna do it right now. So, if you're down here, right next to that art, and put it up high, we're gonna start a gum wall. So if you find yourself in this area, help me out, and let's add to the gum wall. Let me know that you did that too. All right, let's get out of here. All right, house number one. So here we are at Riss Lake, and Riss Lake, there is a lake here, right? It's a subdivision that's planned around a lake, community around a lake. A very well thought out and well planned one. This, I believe, started in the 90s, so fairly modern construction. It's planned out very well. All the streets are laid out nicely. There is the lake, and you can't, in this subdivision, you don't live on the lake. So the lake's pretty private. You can have a pontoon. There's a community dock with electric motors, so you can get out and putt around, but you don't really see a lot of real estate or houses from the lake. It's pretty wooded, so you kind of have that secluded feel, but it is someplace that you can go and you can get on the water, and that's kind of nice, right? It's because you're not just looking in people's windows. You kind of have that nice, I don't know, you feel like you're in a cabin up at the up in the mountains, or I guess not a cabin. It feels like you're away from a cabin, just in a lake all by yourself. There's not a whole lot of traffic out there, and it's just a nice peaceful spot. So there is loads of housing all around the lake. They planned it out really well by having several community pools in the neighborhood, and then several parks, tennis courts. You're gonna have access to all that. And actually, let me step back. If I turn around, just at the end of the street here is one of the pools, tennis courts and playgrounds. So it's one of those windy days. I keep getting lucky with the windy days, but the house that we're gonna talk about today that's currently on the market right now is right behind me. And this is probably more the entry price point right now for Riss Lake. It's coming in right at $515, and then the sky's the limit. There's some mega mansions that are well over $1 million out here. That are down on the water and totally secluded and on a big piece of ground. But this is probably a really good representation of entry level. This is coming in at $515,000 currently. They are 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 2-car garage, 3,100 square feet finished. And then this particular home does not have the finished basement. It is a 2-story, but the basement is unfinished. And that can be nice, especially if you're the kind of person that wants to finish it yourself, because if you purchase this property with an unfinished basement, you're not paying taxes on the finished space that you finish after you move in. So it's kind of a little tax hack. A lot of people with new construction will go ahead and close on their house too. And then after they own it, they'll go back in and finish the basement. And that way they're not paying extra property taxes on that finished square footage. Eventually, they're gonna catch up to you, but you can get away with it for a while. So a little tax hack. Don't tell anybody. Well, let's go back to this house real quick. This house has all new windows, got some nice updates, marble kitchen, gas, appliances, a newer 40-year roof, and coming right in at $163 a square foot. So I expect this one's not gonna last too long. So a really nice spot. We aren't really close to the lake. It's down over that direction, and on my way out of the neighborhood, I'm gonna take you guys by some of the parks and show you the lake so you can kind of see what that looks like. But as you can see, this is one of the off streets. This is kind of a boulevard setup. Everything's super well manicured. Everybody takes great care of their property for the most part out here. Most people are gonna have sprinkler systems. Most people are gonna have lawn care that's gonna come out, you know, trim their bushes, trim their trees. During Christmas time, you know, people are putting all their lights on. The companies out here doing that. So this is one of those neighborhoods where, you know, there is an HOA, and part of the HOA is you get the amenities that we just talked about, like the pool, tennis courts, and now everybody's playing pickleball, so pickleball courts. But there is rules that you got to keep up on your stuff too, or your neighbors are going to rat you out. But everybody does a really good job here. I can't say enough good things about this. It is right in the Park Hill South High School district in Parkville. We are close to just a half mile to all your grocery stores. You've got Sprouts, which is your organic foods. We've got Hy-Vee, Price Chopper, and Aldi's is new to the scene here locally. So all those that are really close, just a mile. And then your access to the highway, if you're going to work, going downtown or to the airport, we're about 1.5 miles from the highway, and then you are literally like 10 minutes to the airport and 10 or 12 minutes to downtown. So as you can see, kind of boulevard, kind of quiet streets. Everything's really well manicured, and it's just a great spot. Can't say enough good things about Wrist Lake in the Parkville community. So let's go take a look at some B-roll. Here we are at the National, which is a golf course community. We are not currently on golf. I will take you by one, but there's a drastic difference between $599 and $3 million a couple streets over. But we'll go by that real quick here in just a minute. But I did want to point out some of the more affordable housing, still get you on golf, still gets you all the amenities that come with this golf course, and close right here in Parkville, and just a great spot. So this is $599, a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car garage, as you can see, a 2-story, and this is 2,700 square feet. So coming in right at $218 a square foot. For brand new construction, you can see they are still putting the finishing touches on this. I do have some photos I'll pop up so you can see the finished product and what it's gonna look like, but all nice, white, modern, new, and shiny, and exactly what you expect. So what I like about the National is, of course, you've got the golf. If you're a family that loves to live on golf and have all those amenities, you've still got the tennis courts, you've got the pools, you've got the clubhouse. There's different packages you can get to, like the dining package, if you're gonna go down there and have dinner every night and hang out. But this was designed by Tom Watson, a pro golfer, so he laid this out, and it's just a really well planned out community right here in Parkville. I can't say enough good things about this either. You know, there's a driving range, everything you need is right here. You don't have to leave for anything. There's trails, golf cart trails, driving range, a couple swimming pools, a couple clubhouses, and lots of housing in and around it all. There's kind of duplex style like townhomes. So if you're looking for something more maintenance free, they've got that. If you want a single family resident, we got that. And if you want a mega mansion on golf, we've got that too. So it's just a great community. It has a little bit of everything. And right here in the middle of Parkville, Park Hill South Schools, there is the Y, which is right down the street. And then everything that little downtown Parkville has to offer as well. So that is new construction in the National. Let's pan around a little bit so you can see they're still doing a lot of construction in that direction. And then here's some of the, behind me, some of the stuff that's been finished for a while. So you can see what that looks like. So let's go take a drive through the neighborhood, show you a couple of the other areas, and then I can't help myself. We're gonna go cruise by $2.9 million and let you see what that'll get you. Not every house on the golf course is gonna be 2.9, but you're gonna be getting up there and pushing $1 million to have that golf course in your backyard right here in Parkville. We are still from I-29 about 2 miles to the highway. And then just like the last subdivision, you're hop, skip, and a jump downtown, 10 minutes, 12 minutes downtown, and 10 minutes or 12 minutes up north to the airport. So great spot. Also have easy access out to 435. Let's go check out. All right, so here we are at my house. Just kidding. No, here we are at the National. This is that one that's right at $3 million. I just want to take you down here and give you a quick look-see because it's pretty cool, and I was just literally a block away. So what the heck, right? So this property is coming in right at $3 million. It is 5 bedrooms. We are 7 full bathrooms, 7,700 square feet, and it's absolutely beautiful. Completed in 2020, so everything's still fresh and new. It's got kitchens indoors, it's got kitchens outdoors, it's got the beautiful golf course, the National Golf Course in the background. We're just down the street from the main clubhouse with the pool and the water slides and the water park and all that great stuff. And like you can see right there in the background, beautiful golf course. I'll give you a spin around here real quick so you can see there's large houses in every direction, but just a beautiful home. And like I said, this one's coming in right at $389 a square foot. So not bad for all this, huh? And right in the National, still right in the heart of Parkville. You know the drill. So on the way out, I'll get a shot of the clubhouse. You guys see what that looks like, see what those amenities look like, and then we'll head closer towards downtown Parkville and take a look at the Bluffs. All right, so standing in front of the main dining area clubhouse right now at the National, and there's the restaurant. I'm gonna see if the doors are open and go and show you a quick look, but get a nice restaurant in there for banquets and parties and all that good stuff, weddings. And then just over here behind it is the pool. There's a water slide with the kids, hang out. Some of the townhomes over here, you can see we've got tennis, pickleball, all that fun stuff down there. And then some guys practicing putting right now on the practice putting greens and the driving range. So that's all right down here at the base. You can see you got houses all around. Do like to point out too, right at the entrance, which is kind of nice, we have Roxanne's Cafe. So take your golf cart right to go get some breakfast. Just a lot of cool things going on here. Can't say enough good things about it. All right, here we are at the Bluffs, and right behind you is the subject property. So the Bluffs is a very cool subdivision. It's one of my favorite subdivisions or neighborhoods in the Parkville area. It's one of the closest to the downtown Parkville area, and it's the Bluffs are right above the river. So the Missouri River, as it cut and moved back and forth, meandering across the floodplain, cut this bluff out, and we've just got a ton of unique homes. So there's no two homes in this neighborhood are exactly the same. You see this totally cool kind of, I don't even know what you call it, but definitely artsy inspired home right behind me. I know we've got more of a traditional ranch right across the street. And then subject property is right behind me. And what we're looking at here is a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, priced at $589, 3,000 square feet, 2-car garage on the front. I think I've actually been in this house before, like 10 years ago when it was for sale last time. But anyway, this is coming in right at $193 a square foot. And these homes are just cool. You will notice that there is no street parking out here. I'm kind of in a little offshoot driveway. So that's something that comes with this neighborhood. Full of trees, so with that comes maintenance, right? You gotta keep your gutters clean because you don't want your gutters getting clogged up, and then you end up with water infiltration into your basement because your gutters are overflowing and just coming down the side of your house. So there is a couple levels of maintenance that you just gotta step up your maintenance game when you're living in the forest like this. But I mean, just a super cool spot. Lots of artsy folks. Everybody's does a really good job keeping up on their property out here. And as you meander through it's just like being in the mountains, in the hills, and you're just right here from downtown Parkville. We are probably half a mile or a quarter mile as a crow flies. And again, to the airport, you're talking maybe, to I-29, the main highway system, you're probably 1.5 miles that direction. 435 is a couple miles in the opposite direction, and then you're right on the highway within less than 5 minutes from this neighborhood. So great spot, cool house, and again, right in Parkville, just something unique that Parkville has to offer. All right, well, I promised you Parkville's deepest, darkest secrets, and well, here we go. We are at the Park University campus right now, and we are getting ready to pull into a cave. That's right, a deep, dark cave that some people don't know about, so I guess it's a secret. So anyway, we're just gonna drive through. It's kind of cool. They have there's a library down here where they keep some of the records for Parkville. Some businesses down here, so just kind of cool that right underneath Park College that we have all this. And I've got my dash cam going so I can post that up, but you guys can just see, you can actually just pull right in here and drive through a cave anytime you want, as far as I know. All right, thanks for sticking with me this long, guys. All right, so we made it. Coming out of the cave right now. There is a couple businesses in there. There was a brewery in there. I saw a still or whatever cooking, and some signs that said like nursing and stuff. So there may be some underground classes too. So I don't know. If you're interested in Park University, do a little research on that and check it out. Kind of a cool spot. We are on the campus right now. We're coming up on the library right now. I got to show this to you. I mean, it is a set of boobs. No other way to say it. But that goes right into the cave. We just drove behind that underground. So, oh, now it says Sports Center. So shows what I know. Maybe it changed. Maybe there's a library in there somewhere. But anyway, cool campus. A lot of history here. A lot of architecture, and right in the middle of Parkville. So just another thing that's unique that Parkville has to offer. So hey, I hope you found these videos useful. My goal is not to sell you on Parkville, but to make an informative video that kind of consolidates a lot of information to save you time. So when you fly in or drive into Kansas City, you have a better idea what you're looking for. So we want to just be a guide, be there to answer any questions you have and help steer you in the right direction for you and your family. And then once we help you find that house, we consider ourselves your agent for life, and we know we may have to sell that house someday. So we are going to be looking out, think of us as a fiduciary looking out for your best interest. is our best interest as well. So anyway, if you found this useful, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps other people find this. And if you live in Parkville, live near Parkville, or want to comment on this video, think we missed something, please throw it right in there. I like to get some conversations going. So thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.